Greetings, Ascending Masters. This is the Divine Alchemist checking in. For those that are new to my channel, I want to thank you for taking the time out to listen. You're sure to get a message here that's going to resonate with your soul. For those that are continuing to listen that have already been a part of the community, thank you again for listening. Please like, please subscribe, please share, please comment on these videos if you haven't yet so that we can continue to get this content out to those that need it. All right, now that we've gotten that part out of the way, I want to dive right into tonight's topic, which is going to be rituals. Now, I'm going to start with some personal experience here. And I know that word rituals was something that was scary for me until I really took the time to research it and to understand it. The way I was raised, rituals were just something that you stay away from. I was told that they were evil, and I was just told that it was something demonic about it, and it's just something that you don't want to touch and you want to stay clear of it. And back then, you kind of just listened to what you were told, and if that's what you were told, then that's what it was. But at this point, I have done the research and I've learned a little bit more, and now that's what I'm here to share with you guys. So I do want to start with what a ritual actually is, because like I said, when the idea was implanted in my mind about what a ritual was, I was never told what it was. I was just told to stay away from it. So what a ritual is a specific set of actions that you follow with the intention of getting a certain result. I'll say that again. A ritual is a specific set of actions that you follow with the intention of getting a certain result. So basically, anything that you do because you're expecting a certain outcome or you're looking for a certain result, that's a ritual. When I learned that, I said, wait a minute, that's all? That's all a ritual is? And yep, that's all it is. So essentially, your life is full of rituals. Whenever you brush your teeth, you use toothpaste, and you do that with the intention of keeping your teeth healthy, correct? If we look at another option, when you take a shower, you wash up, you use soap, and you do that so that you can smell good and you don't offend people, or at least most of us, right? Even when you pray, you have a certain way that you do it, you pray, and you do it with the expectation that your prayer will be answered. So prayer is a ritual as well. So the thing about it is we've been doing rituals our whole life, even though a lot of us were steered to stay away from it. Now, the main problem with this is that most of us don't realize the power behind the rituals. If you really think about it, we've been told our whole life to avoid rituals while simultaneously being taught rituals that we had to follow. That's pretty interesting, right? It's crazy. That kind of blew my mind when I figured that out, that we were being told not to do rituals and to stay away from rituals while at the same time being brought up doing rituals. It's kind of crazy. It really doesn't make any sense when you think about it, but that's how a lot of things are. Now, what I do want you to understand is that rituals are one of the cheat codes to life. They are literally a hack into a new reality, because once you understand what they are and how powerful they are, you now have the power to create your own rituals. And like I said, if you really think about it, probably 85% of your life is already ritualistic. You just don't realize it. Some of it is unconscious. So ultimately, rituals with intention, they do become a reflection of the universal law of cause and effect. For those of you who do not know about the universal laws, these are just the laws that govern the universe. These laws are immutable, so it doesn't really matter if you understand them or you don't, they still exist. It's just like the laws of the land. Doesn't matter if you don't know that you're not supposed to drink and drive. If you get pulled over, you're still going to jail, right? That's exactly how the universal laws work, and cause and effect is one of them. But the rituals, they do coincide with the law of cause and effect. So to put this in layman terms, the current rituals that you practice, whether they be conscious or unconscious, whether you know about them or you don't know about them, it doesn't matter. They will have a direct impact on what's showing up in your reality. For every action, there's a reaction. We were taught that in science. So just understand that if you don't know that you're doing a ritual, it doesn't matter. You're still doing a ritual. And what you are doing is having a direct input on what you're seeing show up in your reality. So now that we know this, we understand what a ritual is, and we understand that it is affecting our life in a major way. What can we do about it? Well, the best answer that I've come up with is take control of your life, and then you can begin to create your own rituals. So you just want to decide what you want to create, get a meaningful process, and go for it, all right? So I got a quick 4-step process for you to get you started with your rituals. Step 1 is to choose a result that you will constantly need, something that has to be repeated in your life. So to give you an example, some things that we're going to need all the time is to learn how to calm your mind. Sometimes we go through certain experiences in life that may upset us. It may get us out of the frequency that we enjoy being in. And we got to find a way to get back to that frequency. So we can create a ritual to get back into that frequency or to calm our mind down. Another thing that we're always going to need is more money. So we can also create rituals to bring more money to our lives. And remember, this is something that you can do for anything. The possibilities are endless. We don't want to limit what we can do with our rituals. But that's the first step, is to choose a result that you're going to need constantly in your life. The second step is to create a process that you will follow whenever you need to get to that result or to get to that state. And this is the part that, a lot of us may not be used to because we're so used to following other people's processes to get to certain results. But what's really important is just the energy behind it. And I'll get into that with step 3. But you really just want to create a process that you're going to follow. So, for example, if we're looking to calm our mind, one thing you can do is you can choose to take a deep breath. And the good thing about this is you don't have to actually be in a situation where you're upset in order to start this practice. If we're talking about calming your mind, what you want to do is create that neuroplasticity ahead of time so that you have something to draw from. Because when you're upset, obviously sometimes you're not firing on all cylinders and you may react in a way that you choose not to. But if you train your mind to automatically jump into that behavior, which is, hey, let me start with a deep breath, and whatever else you add to your ritual, it will help you immensely in those situations where you need it, as long as you get the practice in. So step 2 is to create the process. And, one for money, because I know I was using that as a second example, is maybe you want to visualize it. You want to get clear on it. You want to see exactly how much money you have showing up in your account. So now step 3, and this is a very important step, and this is a step that a lot of us may need work on. And that step is to put intention behind the action that you take. Now, you just have to know that whenever you follow this certain specific set of steps, the result is coming without fail. This is super important because if you don't put the intention behind it, you're just saying words, you're just taking actions. So put the intention behind it, visualize it, think about it, perfect it. Continue to put the energy and the intention behind this process so that you're going to get the results that you need. I can't emphasize that enough. You got to put the intention behind it, and you got to be consistent, and you have to grow the energy that's feeding this intention. Now, the final step is to record your process. Once you record your process to a T, you can begin to record your results. Once the results start showing up in your life, you can watch the ritual grow strength over time. So just to give an example of this, is the best one I can use that some of us may be familiar with is the meditation or the clearing of the mind. A lot of us may have been in situations where we did not learn how to meditate, or we just didn't prioritize clearing our mind. And then we get in situations that upset us, and then we react irrationally. Sometimes it could get us in trouble. It can ruin relationships, business deals, whatever the case may be. But once you implement this strategy or this ritual, you'll now begin to see the differences in your life. So for those of us that have started a meditation journey, I'm sure you can see it when you're dealing with people that typically would have upset you. And typically the neuroplasticity will take you to a place where you get upset just because, you may have that relationship with a person where they always make you upset, but now you've changed that. You've changed the neuroplasticity in your mind to where you can just go straight to the deep breaths. And now you're ultimately gaining better results and having a better experience because of that. Now, I'm using that because it's an easy example, but understand you can create rituals for anything that you want, anything that you're going to need to do on a regular basis. That's really what's important, because if you only need it one time, there's not necessarily a need to create a ritual. You can just, create goals and follow a plan. But for things that are reoccurring in your life that you're going to be dealing with time after time, the best thing is to have a ritual, because like I said earlier, you have a ritual for washing your body, right? You have a ritual for brushing your teeth. So all of the things that you already do all the time, you have rituals. And the thing about it is some of these rituals are unconscious. Some of these rituals may be toxic. They may not be producing the best results. So you may have things that you just do that you've never paid attention to that are continuously putting you in situations that you don't want to be in. But once you become conscious of it, you can change that program. You can create your new ritual and you can start putting yourself in a position to win. Now, I do want to emphasize that anyone can do this for anything as long as the intention is there. You got to get clear on it. You got to put the intention behind it, and you have to allow the energy to grow in it. Rituals have been around for thousands of years. That's not a coincidence. They've been around because they work. They've been around because there's a reason for them, and they can get you from where you are to where you need to be. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up today, guys. But I do want to ask, now that you got this information, what rituals will you create? And for some of us that may already have good rituals that we didn't even realize was a ritual, what rituals do you already have that you may not have known or you may not have even realized? I love to know about it. Go ahead and leave that in the comments. I'm looking forward to reading it. And you guys have an amazing day. Thank you for tapping in. And if you got some value from this video, please like, please subscribe, please share, and please comment with your rituals. Peace, family. Take care.